Hi, and welcome back. Let's talk about the differences between amortized cost under Ind AS 109 and the old held to maturity HTM classification under IAS 39. The two classifications might seem similar at first glance, but there are key differences. Under IAS 39, HTM investments were financial assets that an entity had both the ability and the intention to hold until maturity. For example, if you bought a bond with a 10-year maturity and planned to hold it for the entire duration, it would typically be classified as HTM. Now, under Ind AS 109, financial assets classified at amortized cost are evaluated based on two conditions. First, the business model of the entity must be focused on holding the financial asset to collect contractual cash flows. Second, the contractual terms of the asset must result in cash flows that are solely payments of principal and interest (SPPI) on specified dates. This means that while HTM focused more on the intention to hold until maturity, amortized cost classification introduces a more nuanced approach. It's not just about holding to maturity, but also about the underlying cash flow characteristics of the instrument and how the entity manages its portfolio. There's another important shift. Under IAS 39, HTM had several exceptions. For example, if an entity sold some investments before maturity, it didn't necessarily lose the HTM classification, as certain exceptions were allowed. While some of these exceptions are still retained under Ind AS 109, the classification criteria have evolved. Now, under Ind AS 109, the business model objective is assessed at a portfolio or sub-portfolio level, not on an instrument-by-instrument basis as it was before. This broader approach ensures that the classification reflects how the entity manages its assets collectively rather than looking at each asset in isolation. So while amortized cost and HTM may look similar at first, they operate under different frameworks with a more structured and comprehensive approach under Ind AS 109. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.